Hello student, welcome to the lecture on technical skills, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the occupational definitions of housekeeping, discuss on performance skills needed in housekeeping operation, define the role of administrative officers, explain how to develop departmental policy and procedure, describe how to maintain staffing requirements, understand the developing and implementing process to prevent maintenance plan. Let's start with the concept of technical skills. Housekeeping is an important component of the lodging segment of the hospitality industry for which skill standards should be developed. The function of housekeeping is to create clean, safe and healthy environments in a variety of settings. The primary facilities that have housekeepers on staff include hotels and motels, healthcare facilities, nursing homes or retired center, airports and public buildings. The educational system supporting the hospitality industry by creating entry-level managers have been faced with many changes that affect the methods used to prepare highly educated and qualified students to fit the demands of the hospitality industry. Hospitality managers today need to work harder in handling new areas of specialization and in processing information at a more sophisticated level than did their predecessors. Let us now discuss the occupational definition of housekeeping. These are the following terms which is used in housekeeping. These are housekeeper. Housekeeper is the entry-level position. Housekeepers do the primary cleaning in guest rooms, public areas and offices and back of the house. The housekeeper reports to the assistant director, the director of housekeeping. Supervisor. Supervisors monitor the work of housekeepers to ensure quality standards and expected performance levels for productivity are maintained. The supervisor reports to the assistant director or the director of housekeeping. Assistant director of housekeeping. The assistant director of housekeeping assists the director of housekeeping with the supervision of housekeeping employees, report problems to the director, provides feedback to the director for employee evaluation, trains the housekeepers and performs other tasks as designated by the director of housekeeping. The assistant director may perform primary cleaning tasks as needed within the facility. The assistant director reports directly to the director of housekeeping. Director of housekeeping. The director of housekeeping is responsible for ensuring guest rooms, meeting and banquet rooms and public areas are clean, orderly and well maintained. The director supervises all housekeeping employees, has the authority to hire or discharge employees, plans and assigns work assignment, inform new employees of property regulation, inspects housekeeping personnel work assignments and requisition supplies. The director is also responsible for drafting and maintaining the housekeeping department's operational budget. The director reports to the rooms division manager or director of facility operations. Rooms division. Manager or director of facility operation. Management of housekeeping department is an important function of the rooms division manager or director of facility operation. Management functions include developing and maintaining the housekeeping operational and capital improvement budget, developing departmental policies and procedure, and maintaining, training and supervising staff. Employment opportunities. A strong career ladder exists between entry-level housekeeping position and rooms division manager or director of facility operation. Many of the major chains require the general manager to have held one of the two senior positions in housekeeping before moving up the ladder to rooms division manager. This requirement is in place because the housekeeping department usually has the largest labor force, budget and scope of operation within the lodging property. Occupation in all four components of the lodging standard cluster are significant and growing at or above the statewide average rate. Occupancy rates and property expansion will continue to the next 15 years. The career track is vertical and horizontal. By virtue of training and experience, employees are able to assume more complex and responsible positions. Employees also have the opportunity to move geographically and to work in different types of properties. The career ladder as reflected on the housekeeping standards matrix shows the potential for upward mobility in the lodging industry.
makes me so happy when a guest says their room is perfect. Seeing a smile on a guest's face makes me very happy. When I walk into a guest room, I look for a little clue to help me serve them better. When I walk into a room for the first time, I think to myself, this is my home. The people on my team at the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong are like my family. So we work together to create the memorable experience for our guests.
Performance skills needed in housekeeping operation. Now moving on to the next topic, we will study the performance skills needed in housekeeping. The housekeeping operation is needed performance skills to give best facilities to the guests. These are safety of guests. Condition of performance are given the following: safety equipment and system, safety equipment and training, safety checklist with standard operating procedures, material safety data sheets, MSDS, chemical storage and labeling procedure, safety signage, safety log, in-house property forms, example safety status checklist, safety violation work order, etc. Performance criteria. All safety hazards that can cause falls, burns, cuts, positioning or other accidents are eliminated. All safety violations are reported to designated staff. All safety violation documentation is completed. All breaches of safety are reported immediately. Identification of potential safety risks is ongoing. Skill is performed without error. Performance elements. Remove all electrical cords, objects or spills located where they could cause injury or damage. Clean up or temporarily cover all spills on floors and work surfaces. Replace frayed electrical cords. Maintain appropriate fire extinguishers and fire protection equipment. Store combustible materials away from ignition sources according to property policy and procedure. Store caustic or poisonous substances away from food preparation or serving areas according to property policy and procedure. Ensure required MSDS are updated and easily accessible. Post evacuation plans for all stairwells and elevators. Ensure all exit signs and warning indicators are in working order. Maintain evacuation equipment. Maintain first aid equipment, supplies, kits and system. Report all safety violation to designated staff. Ensure exterior seasonal maintenance of walkways and parking areas is performed. Ensure preventive measures are taken to prevent accidents during inclement weather. Ensure maintenance of elevators and escalators is performed. Maximize guest and property security. Conditions of performance are given the following: key control procedure, loss prevention and asset protection procedure, lost and found procedure, property policy and procedure. Performance criteria. All security procedure related to specific risk and breaches are followed. All suspected and actual security risks and breaches are reported to designated staff. All confidential guest information is protected according to property policy and procedure. All breaches of security are reported immediately. Identification of potential security risks is ongoing. Skill is performed without error. Performance elements. Ensure key control. Protect or verify guest identity. Screen phone calls according to property policy and procedure. Set or reset alarm system. Maintain security signage. Protect property and guests' portable asset, example computers, audiovisual equipments, television, linens, lost and found items, etc. Perform asset protection procedure. Maintain equipment inventory. Conditions of performance are given the following. Property policy and procedure. Establish preventive maintenance PM program. Reports of malfunctioning or broken equipment requisitioning form. Work to be performed. Maintain inventory of functioning equipment by adhering to established PM program, initiating a work request to repair equipment and or completing requisition to purchase new or replacement equipment. Performance elements. Adhere to established PM program. Obtain reports of malfunctioning equipment, example vacuum cleaners, floor scrubbers, floor polishers, etc. Initiate work request for equipment repair. Complete requisition for equipment purchase. Give requisition to appropriate staff for approval. File copy in appropriate location. Guest room cleaning, make beds. Conditions of performance are given the following. Property policy and procedure, stock housekeeping card, room assignment sheet. Work to be performed. Make beds with fresh linens. Performance criteria. Bed is neatly made with clean bedding. Pillows are fluffed and tucked into case. Sheets and blanket corners are mitred and top sheets folded down. Bedspread is straight and smoothly placed on top of bed. Time to complete skill is 3 to 5 minutes per bed. Performance elements. Remove any personal items from bed. Remove and check blanket and bedspread, and if soiled or damaged, replace it. Place bedspread, blanket and pillows on chair. Strip beds. Collect soiled linen from bathroom and place on cart. Check mattress pad and mattress, making a note to inform. Supervisor if mattress is stained, has burn marks or other damage. Check between mattress and box springs for any damage or guest property. Return with clean linen for bed and bathroom. Performance assessment criteria. Product. Beds are properly made according to property policy and procedure. Process. All performance elements are critical for completion of the bed making skill. The steps are numbered to show an appropriate sequence for completing the skill. However, a different sequence may be used. Administrative offices. Let's now discuss about administrative offices. Conditions of performance are given the following. Property policy and procedure, stock housekeeping card, vacuum cleaner, keys. Work to be performed. Clean administrative offices to maintain overall cleanliness and neat appearance. Performance criteria. Administrative offices are clean according to property policy and procedure. Skill is performed on a daily basis. Some cleaning tasks, example window cleaning, are performed on weekly or monthly basis and or as needed. Nightly cleaning varies depending on size and number of offices. One office is clean in 15 minutes or less. Performance elements. Knock before entering the office and pick up debris and empty trash cans and ashtrays. Spot clean wall areas, clean windows and window treatment according to property policy and procedure. Dust furniture, clean and sanitize telephones. Employee areas. Conditions of performance are property policy and procedure, stock housekeeping card, vacuum cleaner, service elevator key, power washer, proper signage. Performance criteria. Employee areas are free of dirt, grime and dust. Employee areas are cleaned daily with deep rotational cleaning tasks, example steam extraction of carpet soil, stripping and refinishing of floors performed on a scheduled basis. Cleaning time, excluding time for deep rotational cleaning tasks, is 60 minutes. Time to complete skill varies according to size of area to be cleaned. Performance area. Clean elevator. Take elevator out of service post for appropriate signage. Sweep and damp mop elevator. Place elevator back in service. Clean service corridor. Housekeeping storage areas. Conditions of performance are property policy and procedure, stock turn down cart, vacuum cleaner. Preparing budget. Condition of performance are financial quality and employee satisfaction goals of facility, corporate guidelines, revenue and occupancy forecast, cost per occupied room, budget constraint, computer workstation with appropriate software, history or analysis reports on amenity and supply usage. Develop employee. Work schedules. Conditions of performance are property policy and procedure, list of housekeeping staff, appropriate forms, order request form, vacation or absence request forms, union contract, occupancy forecasts, local, state and federal labor laws. Develop departmental policy and procedures. Condition of performance are property, policy and procedure, employee handbook, communication medium, federal, state and local regulation, union contract work to be performed, developed departmental policy and procedure. Performance criteria. Departmental policy and procedures are developed and updated according to current trends and department needs. Time required to complete the skill depends on type of policy and procedures to be developed and or modified. Performance elements. Identify need to modify or clarify existing policy and or procedure. Identify need to create new policy and or procedure. Modify existing policy and or procedure. Create new policy and or procedure. Ensure that new modified policy and or procedure comply with federal, state and local regulation. Present suggested policy and or procedure changes to appropriate department or person for approval. Post new and modified policy and procedure. Performance assessment criteria. Product. Departmental policy and procedures are developed or modified to meet identified needs of property. Process. All performance elements are critical for developing policy and procedure. The performance elements are numbered to show an appropriate sequence for completing the skill. However, a different sequence may be used. Contract house cleaning services. Condition of performance are property, policy and procedure, operating budget, resource materials. Performance criteria. Contract is acquired with reliable outside service that will provide services to meet property's quality standards. Time to complete skill varies according to service contracted. Performance elements. Contact well established companies that provide services required. Obtain at least 3 bids for new jobs. Ask companies to list equipment and supplies that will be used. Check references thoroughly. Review time expectation, quality assurance and terms of contract. Verify insurance coverage for workers, guests, property, employees and assets. Maintain staffing requirements. Conditions of performance are job description, property policy and procedure, employment application forms, new hire packet, example benefit forms, state and federal forms, etc., scheduling forms, training manual, local, state and federal regulation, current employee, union contracts, safety, manual, property, tour or staff introduction, annual occupancy forecast. Work to be performed. Maintain housekeeping staff requirements of property. Housekeeping staff requirements of property are determined and met to maximize guest satisfaction. Policy and procedure for staffing property are followed without error. Time needed to maintain staffing requirements varies with each job classification and recruitment and interview time required. Performance elements. Determined fixed position, example housekeeper, supervisor, assistant director of housekeeping, director of housekeeping, rooms division manager or director of facility operation. Determined number of variable staff position, example housekeepers, inspectors, lobby attendants, etc. Identifying staff vacancies due to vacancies from regular turnover, vacation, sickness, average absenteeism, promotion and increased areas of responsibility. Review and revise job description. Developing and implementing a preventative maintenance plan. Conditions of performance are property policy and procedure, written preventative maintenance PM program, preventative maintenance order PMO, establish manufacturer's recommendation, compliance with standard OSHA EPA inspections. Performance criteria. Appropriate maintenance activities are executed to ensure continuous operation of facility, system or piece of equipment. Equipment performance operators at proper efficiency without interruption. Development of PM program plan is completed in 1 to 2 days. Performance elements. Identify and list facilities, system or equipment to be maintained. Obtain established manufacturer's recommended maintenance plan. Where entire systems or major system components are mass produced, manufacturer usually recommended service frequencies and procedure. Developed and implement written PM program. Initiate PMO, which is a statement of actual procedures to be used in performance of preventive maintenance tasks for systems or piece of equipment. Missing items. Conditions of performance are Property policy and procedure, room assignment sheets, reporting form. Performance criteria are: reporting form is completed with 100% accuracy, skill is completed in 2 to 3 minutes. Performance elements: report any guest items found in guest room or on property, record found item on the room assignment sheets, complete report form identifying found items, describe in detail item and location where item was found, give form to front desk security, place found items in appropriate designated location with tag identifying location where found, file copy of report identifying found item in appropriate file. After 90-day waiting period or time period established by property, staff member will receive item they turn in. Report property items that are missing.
Running a hotel is tricky business. Take housekeeping, for example. At peak occupancy, you need to balance the workload and efficiency. Hundreds of phone calls and paper to print. Where would you get the time to do anything else if that's what you're trying to do all day long? Sure, software can help, but the promise of seamless integration don't really work that well, do they? Technology should be fun, easy to use, and intuitive. Triton Housekeeping is all that and more. Your supervisor needs to be alerted the moment a room is ready for inspection. He also needs to know where the attendants are, all the time. The system should report a discrepancy, so there's really nothing left to chance. For the attendant, rooms are auto-allocated in order of cleaning. Info on the go. And all updates go directly into property.
Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Housekeeper is the entry-level position. Housekeepers do the primary cleaning in guest room, public areas and offices and back of the house. Supervisor monitor the work of housekeepers to ensure quality standards and expected performance levels for productivity are maintained. The assistant director of housekeeping assists the director of housekeeping with the supervision of housekeeping employees, report problems to the director, provides feedback to the director for employee evaluation, trains the housekeepers and performs other tasks as designated by the director of housekeeping. The Director of Housekeeping is responsible for ensuring guest rooms, meeting and banquet rooms and public areas are clean, orderly and well maintained. Management of the housekeeping department is an important function of the rooms division managers, Director of Facility Operation. All appropriate staffs hold licenses or certification required by local ordinances.